Every so often you read a book that puts you in touch with deep emotions that trigger your own memories and feelings. POW529, The Secret of Freedom, is just such a book. For some, it makes them realize the sacrifices their parents and grandparents made to keep America free. For others, it makes them realize how easy they have it when compared to a POW barely surviving. It puts life's trials and tribulations into perspective. For everyone, it's a celebration of the human spirit and the freedom of the mind to transform survival into resiliency. Michael George Mero was an American soldier who had the misfortune of being stationed in the Philippines when the Japanese invaded Pearl Harbor and war was declared. He immediately became a prisoner of war and spent 3.5 years in Japanese prison camps. He was in the Philippines for the first 3 years and then was transported to Japan in the hardships, where he worked as a laborer until he and his fellow POWs were liberated by the American military forces in 1945.
And how long after your father passed away did you decide it was time to publish this book, or what inspired you to actually publish the book?
He wrote the book when he was in his 40s. When he died at 65, we came across the book, and we felt very strongly that it would put the nieces and the nephews and the grandchildren in touch with who their grandfather really was and what he was all about. So that was the real motivation behind publishing the book. We thought we'd establish an heirloom, a legacy, if you will. And so we published the book. The reaction we got from other individuals reading it also, really gave me a sense of, a very good sense of fulfillment of saying, look, this is something that people, would enjoy reading and becomes inspiring, gives you a reason to feel good about being an American. From that standpoint, that was the motivation behind publishing the book, and we're really pleased that we did.
Friendship. On this particular day, I noticed a group of Filipino workers cutting grass outside the prison compound fence. Did you ever sense that someone you knew was close to you, perhaps because you wanted them to be near you, and that their safety was uppermost in your mind, and you knew beyond a doubt that they would risk their life for you without hesitation? As I walked toward the barbed wire fence, one of the Filipino workers moved his head and glanced at me with a big smile. It was my former servant, Ray's. He beckoned to me to come closer to the fence. I had no idea what he had in mind, other than to speak to me and greet me as a friend. There was no actual reason for him to risk his life to help me. I reached down as if I had stubbed my toe on a rock, and suddenly I saw before me something wrapped in green banana leaves, like a small package. Ray's had tossed it at my feet, and as I clutched the package, my nostrils caught the scent of fish. It must be baked fish. What a chance my friend had taken to bring me this prize. If the enemy knew what he was doing, they would shoot him down outside the fence without question. Assignment to burial detail is one thing you won't forget. Although it's a simple task, it stays with you for a long time, maybe forever. All you do is dig a shallow hole the size of a person's body and place him in it, naked. The eyes that stare at you are filled with shock and fear, not peace. And the expression on the face tells you that even in death, he cannot believe what has happened to him. Numerous times in your future, you will see the young face of that soldier that you laid to rest, and you'll think perhaps it was an omen, that you should continue to fight hard for survival. You're sure your death will only please the enemy and that your life will be over and forgotten, with nothing to show that you were here on earth, not even a little tree.
There were points in the book where I actually broke down and cried. You think you have it bad, you think we have it bad, you think that, oh my goodness, life is treating me so horrible. Until you read a book like this, and it really sheds a whole different light on what it's like to go through that type of experience.
I cannot begin to describe the feeling of elation you will get when you see your smug captor start to squirm for a change as the concentrated armed might of the United States reveals itself, and the sleeping eagle whose feathers have been plucked begins to show its claws. You know the Army, Navy, and Marines have broken through, or all this wouldn't be possible. You can only wish that your dead comrades were here to witness the long-awaited, awe-inspiring sight. You remember their sacrifices for this country, all those eager young faces from every state in the Union. The war's not over yet, however, and this is just a prelude to the eventual victory, for the enemy still has a few tricks up its sleeves. Final thoughts. I shall never forget my many experiences, but one thing really stands out in my memory: the time I was in Manila riding on a commercial bus to town. I had a conversation with a sergeant in the Philippine Scouts. He said to me, "I hear that the Japanese prisoners you have here are being treated very well. They go to the mess hall, eat good food, and are allowed in the PX to buy candy and cigarettes, and can even go to the movies. Their living quarters are very comfortable. Tell me, why is this, especially after what they did to your people and my people?" I looked at the sergeant and answered, "You must understand, in the United States, we believe in democracy and freedom to all. And because most of us are Christians, we turn the other cheek and are kind to our enemies when we are victorious."
Order your copy or share your thoughts with us at POW529.com.